Well, I'm trying to understand this, though, with the Giants. What are you going to do at the quarterbacking position? Because you didn't take one in the quarterback draft from the previous year. You got a great running back in Saquon Barkley, but now you're stuck with Eli in his last year and really no plan moving forward.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic because I don't think Eli's ever gone into the final year of his deal. It's not like the Giants to have their quarterback kind of going into that mode. But I look at it like what we heard Gettleman say and what we heard Shermer say, at the Combine. Look, we're counting on Eli this year. And I think the hope is that this team is better, that they win games, make it to the postseason. And I think the hope is that Eli has a good year and it makes them have a tough decision going forward. I think that would be a great problem to have if you're Dave Gettleman. But I also think they look at, well, if you didn't fall in love with one of the quarterbacks from last year, I don't know that I see it happening this year unless you've got the number one pick. And I think they look at that and say, look, maybe we take a quarterback later on in the draft, but there isn't somebody that they're ready to go all in on. And when you look at the Giants, and when the season ended, the first thing that come out of Dave Gettleman's mouth was, we've got to fix our defense. We've got to find a way to stop people, get after the quarterback. Well, this draft is loaded with guys that can do just that. And now the fact that they were able to pick up an extra first-round pick, an extra third-round pick, I could see them making a complete overhaul of that defense.
Yeah, I'm just not sure what they're doing with Golden Tate. He's a nice second or third receiver there, and you're paying him some pretty good money there. I don't know. I think you're either all in on let's rebuild, get maybe the top draft pick next year. I don't want to use the word tanking. We don't use that in the NFL, but that would be what I would be doing. I would just say, all right, we're going to pave the way, and Tua Tagovailoa is going to be our quarterback next year. And let's just then we start our rebuild. Because I thought with Odell and Saquon, I'd go all in on Kyler Murray. I would make that offense something we'd never seen. I'd make you have to prepare for us, and I would turn the NFL on its ear. That would have been my approach if I was the Giants and I was keeping everybody. The defense underperformed, but I would have a dynamic offense. Is that asking too much? Is that too far-fetched for the Giants organization to think that way?
Well, I think it sounds good on paper, and I mean, that's certainly the Cleveland model. I mean, that's what they're going for. They've got Baker, they've got OBJ, they've got Jarvis, they've got Njoku. I think when I look at the Giants offense, I look at them and they had to have said, all right, I personally don't think they were shopping Odell, but I think they got an offer from the Browns who, John Dorsey took a shot and he said, look, let's see what happens. And they said, man, we can't turn this down. We've got to make moves. Because the reality is we didn't win a lot of games with Odell. We went to the playoffs one time. You look at, who are the top 5 receivers in the NFL right now? Did any of them make the playoffs? Were any of them in the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I think you look at it like the fact that the Giants have Saquon Barkley, that's what enabled them to make this trade and to make this move. This offense is going to be centered around him. Golden Tate's going to be a piece of that. Sterling Shepard's going to be a part of that. Evan Ingram's going to be a part of that. But, there are people in that building that actually felt like, wow, this offense was actually pretty good without Odell at the end of the season. He didn't play the last, I think, 4 games of the season. And, look, I think they got a little glimpse of that. The year before, obviously, he was hurt, and that was a debacle. But this offense, I think as many points as you want to score, it doesn't do you any good if you can't get off the field on defense and if you can't find a way to stop people.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.